everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with...
Well, we've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
It's 59. Mike to 59. Hey, defense, let's go.
To throw and screen. Throwing on first down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. Green. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
To return is Roberts. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. So here come the Eagles for their initial possession of the game. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it second and 12. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Wentz on third down. And he connects with Ertz. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big third down pickup of 20 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
10 yards there. Good for a Redskin first down.
Quit talking about it. First down at the 43-yard line.
And here's Green on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And now it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Green. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Green. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Well, look now at our starting defense. And they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes even a 10th to try and stop them from running the ball.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys were excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
21 yards. Well done on the return. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you.
2nd and 6. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Love. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
A 21-yard attempt.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something that...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DJ Chark in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. To throw is Green. A final shot before break. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Will those change? Rush coming, and he's taken down. Derek Barnett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Green. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer. St. Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now Green. Throwing on 3rd and long. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's going to fire one. They got his man complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Wentz. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Push him back.
Here's a 2nd and 7. His throw incomplete. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Green, operating from the gun. And he finds the tight end, Reed. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Green now on first down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Green. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the whole.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Redskins scoop it. He's got daylight, the 20, and he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written him off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. So they tried to tack on 2 more. Wouldn't have mattered as far as who won and who lost, but that's how this one ends.
Felt like cosmetics, didn't it? Just put another 2 points on the board, make the score look a little bit better. Maybe they wanted to run a 2-point conversion just to see what they had. Who knows? But it just wasn't necessary.
So for the Eagles, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And